Here is me doing just one finger in real time as requested. I might stick around and do a commentary. Let's see if I find anything interesting to say. That part was a little tender from ripping back the day before, so I decided to leave it alone. Someone asked me in the comments on the last video why I do the tops and sides of my fingers if this mutation only affects the palmoplantar skin. But it's hard to see on like pale skin, but if you look at anyone with brown or black skin, you can see that that palmoplantar skin, which on them is usually a lighter color than like the back of their hand, you can see how the skin sort of comes up around the fingertips. Just Google and you'll see. So anyway, it's hard to tell because my palmoplantar skin is kind of pinkish and similar to the color of the back of my hand. But yeah, if you have darker skin, you can really see that lighter color skin that is the palmoplantar skin, the skin that is more grippy, that reacts to water, that has fingerprints and palm prints. It does kind of wrap up around the finger. And then where it separates between palmoplantar skin and regular skin, on my condition, there's that red ring of what looks like inflamed skin, but it's not. That's just the color of the division between the two types of skin when you have this condition. That's where the frays typically happen. It seems to be a bit softer and more prone to flaking up when agitated. And so I continue to go even beyond the perimeter of the keratoderma in order to get just the frays. I'm suddenly reminded that people are always asking all the time, how do I know how deep to cut? I can feel it. When you clip your cuticles, can you feel if you're going to cut too deep and it's going to be painful because you're going to touch nerves? Or are you clipping just the right amount so that you clip off what can be clipped comfortably but not clipping too deep? I mean, that's how I know. Also, an entire childhood of gnawing at my fingertips with my teeth gave me an intimate understanding of how deep I can go and how far is too far to clip or to rip. At this point, I'm just incredibly familiar with it. See these little teeny tiny light clips. I mean, on this part, I'm taking off almost nothing, versus here I'm really more into my finger skin and I'm taking off much bigger clips. So, and then the division between those two rows of clips, I'll come back in and smooth it out right here and get the ridge that's a bit higher in between the two so that it's ultimately pretty smooth. And here I'm just trying to kind of even out the difference between the side and the pad where I've left the skin. And I said I was going to do that tonight or tomorrow, and I still hold to that. The finger pads are feeling quite thick now that the fingertips are thin, and the difference between the two is more noticeable, and that will incline me to shave the finger pads really soon. I keep thinking I'm done with this finger, and I'm not. I just keep finding more to clip. But I did go into this particular fingertip session knowing I really want to clean up the skin all over, clean up the cuticles where they're getting thick and peeling, clean up all the edges of the fingertip. So I knew this was going to be a bit more involved, so I'm giving myself the time and allowing myself to give the attention to all the details that I might sometimes ignore or just glaze over and just do like the most surface frays that need attention. This time I was really doing everything around the whole edges. That part peeled back the other day, and I keep trying to get it, but it's just so tender, I don't want to keep clipping it.